Hey everybody, Alina Zweidler-McKay with CM Coach, where we're all about helping you take your career to the next level, whether that's moving up in your current organization or getting a new role somewhere else. So today I want to talk to you about information flow in organizations. One of the things that I see with my clients and with people I talk to and out in the world is that it's really easy to assume that people know what they need to know, or that information that's supposed to be flowing around is flowing. Um, and that's just not always the case. And so, one of the things that you can do to set yourself up for success is to be someone who is an information transporter. You can be someone who helps make sure that information is going from one part of the organization to another. And that sets you up to be someone who helps get problem solved, helps make things happen, who helps get things done. Because one of the things that can cause challenges to linger in an organization or can cause a problem to not get solved is when the information isn't flowing. People assume other people have it. I'll just give you a couple of examples that happened in my life recently. We were on a trip and we were driving out on some country roads, and there was an accident. We came upon an accident. It had already happened. People were out of their cars. Everyone was standing around. And my gut reaction when I see something like that is to call 911. So I just pulled out my phone and I called 911 and I said, "You may know about this already, but there's an accident. It doesn't, I can't tell if anybody's been really hurt. There's a guy still in his truck, but here's where we are." And it turned out that even though there were all these people standing around at this accident site, no one had called 911 yet. So there were no ambulances or anything on the way. Now, did they really need it? I don't know. But there was an older gentleman who had been in that truck who, when the ambulance got there, kind of checked him out and made sure he was okay. And I felt better knowing that that had happened. But it was just striking to me that it's, and so, I guess, unsurprising in a way that, human nature is to sort of assume that people already know what they need to know, or that somebody else has shared the information, somebody else has called 911. So that was kind of interesting to me. And then a similar thing happened again recently on another trip. We were traveling by air, and our flight had gotten delayed and canceled the day before, and it was the next day. And we were waiting at a gate. The boards had all said to go to this one gate, and the sign above the gate said that that's where our flight was going to go. But then, like, hardly anybody was there, and nobody was at the gate at the time that it was supposed to board. So finally, there was an announcement saying that our flight was going to be boarding from this entirely different gate. So we trundled over to that different gate, and just because who I am as someone who makes sure that information is flowing, I went up to the desk and I said, "I just want you to know the boards are still showing this other gate," because they were even as we walked over. And also the sign above the desk at that other gate says that this is where this flight is coming through. Well, it turns out nobody knew that. Like, the gate attendants didn't know that. The people working the boards apparently didn't know that. There had been this confusion because this flight wasn't actually supposed to go out that day. But it meant that, passengers were getting all these mixed signals. So again, it's an example of not taking it for granted that people know that there's a problem. Like, sort of assuming that if somebody had known there was a problem, they would have fixed it. So obviously somebody doesn't know that there's a problem. That's kind of the attitude that I bring to organizational situations. I've worked in enough organizations. I spent 20 years doing organizational consulting, and I will tell you, the core to most problems, the reason most problems linger, is because people are assuming that somebody else already knows about it and just hasn't done anything about it. And so often that's not true. So often people see the problem over here, but the person who needs to fix it over here doesn't actually see that it's a problem, doesn't know about it, isn't aware of it. You see this all the time on that show, Undercover Boss. And I know I talk about this show a lot. Makes me crazy. Where there'll be some big problem in the organization, and the people on the ground or the people in that part of the organization know about it. And of course it's a problem. And why doesn't anybody do anything about it? But then the CEO or the president or whoever it is, out doing their undercover boss thing. And it's the first they're ever hearing about it. information in organizations is really sticky. And what I mean by that is it sort of sticks in the place where it's seen, but it doesn't necessarily make its way through the organization or across the organization or up the organization. And so if you want to be someone who is seen as a problem solver, as someone who gets things done, as someone who's worthy of promotions and opportunities and recognition, one of the easiest things you can do is be looking for who else needs to know about this? Or, I see this problem over here. Whose job would it be to solve it? And are they even aware of it? Now, obviously, you have to go into those conversations carefully because you can't assume that they don't know or assume that they know and that they're not taking care of it. You have to come at it with like, hey, I just wanted to make sure you were aware and kind of share the information carefully and casually and respectfully. But when you do that, more often than not, you're going to find that either people are aware and they just, there's some other reason that it's not getting taken care of, which by the way, would be really good information to share over on this other side, or they weren't even aware, so they couldn't do anything about it. And either way, you are now a conduit. You are someone who's going to help bring clarity, bring transparency, bring a sense of understanding about what is happening in the organization. And that is going to help you build trust with, the people that you work with. And it's going to help you build trust with the people whose problems you've spotted, because they know they can count on you, that if something's going wrong, you're not just going to complain about it or talk about them behind their back, but you're actually going to bring it to them and give them a chance to do something about it, or even roll up your sleeves and help. So at a system level, one of the things that I teach my clients and that I work with my clients on is how to see organizations as systems. And as systems, one of the things to be watching is where is the information flowing and where is it stuck? And what can you do from your role, from what you see in the organization to help kind of open up those channels where information might be stuck and help it flow? That is one of the things that you can do that will make a big impact on your organization. And I think as a result, a big impact on your career. If you'd like to learn more about how to think about information flow, how to communicate in those situations, maybe you have seen those kinds of things, but you don't know what to say, or you've said something in the past and it hasn't gone really well. Those are all things that I help my clients with: how to notice, how to figure out who to talk to, what to say, and how to say it so that it gets received in a really nice way. We'd love to help you with those kinds of things. So reach out to us. You can book a call with my team at zmcoach.com/apply. We will get on the phone with you for about 45 minutes, talk to you about your current situation, see if we can help. If we can, we'll talk to you about what that would look like. And if not, we'll let you know that too and point you to other resources. But either way, it's our goal for you to be able to get the career recognition, respect, promotions, and pay raises that you deserve. We'd love to help you do that. zmcoach.com/apply. Take care.